Hi, I'm Annie and I blog over at savvyannie.co.uk. I blog about how I save money for me and my family, and I share hints and tips and ideas. So obviously kids grow super fast. I'm in a really lucky position where a lot of my friends and family have got children of around the same age, so we swap clothes between us. This works really well because I can essentially get him clothes for the season ahead. It's worked really well for us, and you'll be surprised at the amount of people that are willing to do that. I tend not to buy too many things too far ahead of time because sometimes that can be a waste of money, but what I do tend to buy ahead is winter coats, sometimes winter woolies, when you see them in sales, when they've really knocked down in price, or you can pick things up on eBay throughout the year. People tend to have huge clear outs at certain times of the year, so you know you can buy ahead for the next season. You'll be really surprised where you can pick up really cheap good kids clothing. So in local supermarkets, for example, they've really built upon their range of clothing that they have for both adults and children. The quality is actually really good and the price point's excellent. There's one area that I don't tend to scrimp on for my son, and that's definitely shoes. I'm really conscious that his feet are growing at a crazy rate, but they're also susceptible to kind of long-term damage if I put him in anything rubbish. I think it's hugely important to teach your children about money. I got into massive money problems and we never had any structure and guidance necessarily. I wasn't sure about how to pay bills, what money I needed to assign for certain things. Budgeting was a foreign concept to me completely, but with my son, he's already hugely interested in anything to do with kind of figures and counting things out. So I want to slowly build up to him appreciating what those things buy and the value of money. I think you can't instill those principles too early on. Although my son's only 3, I'm trying to get the basic principles in his head already because I know it'll pay dividends in the end. So we have a reward chart for him. So he basically, with each level of good behaviour, he earns a treat. He chooses what that treat is, and he also knows how much money that's going to cost mummy ultimately. I take him to the shop, he chooses the reward, and he even pays the cashier with the money, and we count out exactly how much it is, so he assigns that value to that reward. I think starting the conversation around money shouldn't be a sit-down serious conversation with children, because then it becomes a bit of a taboo subject, and that's absolutely not what you should be starting off at. I think what you need to do is introduce it at fun time, so maybe when you're playing. I think as my son gets older, it will definitely be on a reward basis as to whether he gets pocket money or not. So if I ask him to do simple tasks around the home, to maybe help mummy tidy up, or pack his toys away nicely, or small things that he's able to do and get involved in, but also will be an actual help around the home, I think will be a good way of him knowing that this reward is based off the back of him doing something useful, kind, helpful for mummy. Obviously children have really short attention spans, so if you bring the reward goals a bit closer, then they'll absolutely be more incentivized to do it. If your child wants to buy something that's quite a bit more expensive, so a much higher ticket item, then absolutely keep them motivated on the journey that it'll take for them to save to get there. If you plot along kind of each day and week with how well they're doing and how much more they need to save, you'll keep them incentivized and on track to get exactly what they want. Thanks for stopping by.